Massive moves are happening right now in the investment space as people panic, sell, as people get over leveraged and wreck their portfolios. The wealthiest people in the world are making massive moves. So that's what I'm going to break down today. Warren Buffett makes a massive move into a big company. Two moves that we're going to break down today. This channel is not about get rich quick. This is not about hype. It's about discipline, consistency, creating a plan, and sticking to it. So we're going to look at the moves that Warren Buffett just made. I'm going to give my own analysis on what I think he is doing in the moves and the reason why he's making these moves. And then on the back end, I'm going to share with you exactly the patterns that I follow and why I love red and I sell greed. All right, so let's dive right in. So Warren Buffett, there was a big announcement over the weekend that he made a huge move into Google Alphabet. So check this out, and then we will break this down at a deep level on what I think maybe happened. I'd love to hear your comments down below.
We've got some a news alert here. Some big tech buying by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. Leslie Picker's got all the details. Leslie.
Hey, Melissa. Yes, it is 13th day, and we saw Berkshire Hathaway taking a new stake in Alphabet, 17.9 million shares. They're worth about $4.3 billion at the end of the quarter. You can see shares of Alphabet up about 1.4%. Google's parent company, now a top 10 Berkshire Hathaway holding and the firm's biggest new tech position since its original Apple investment.
Okay, so let's keep it simple here. Let me bring him on the screen. Very simple. Warren Buffett, buy good companies at fair prices. That's it, guys. That's why I hold XRP. That's why I hold Bitcoin. That's why I hold Solana. That's why I have WFI now. That's why I hold HBAR. I buy decent, what I believe are technologies. You can call them companies. We can call them technologies. I don't buy hype. I don't buy get rich quick. I buy good technologies or companies at decent prices. When I see red, I celebrate. And when I see green, I'm not greedy. I get money off the table. Okay. So this is how you survive, especially in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Remember, when the stock market goes down 8%, that's catastrophic. The crypto market can come collapsing down 30 to 40%, but that's your gift. So if you do not understand investment cycles, that this is nothing different, study how long the stock market's been open and how many crashes there have been. That's what you should be studying. Guys, this is nothing new. Everybody's trying to convince you that this is different. It's not different. It's just different technologies, different investments, different companies, different boom, different bust. The person who can stay in the market the longest becomes the wealthiest. So write this down. Buy decent companies, technologies at fair prices. Stay out of the get rich quick. Stay out of the hype. Okay, so let's continue on and we'll build out this thesis and narrative together so we can keep ourselves safe as we continue on our investment strategies here. Okay, so the next thing to take a look at is Warren Buffett actually made a big, so let's back up. So Warren Buffett made a huge cash position of 340 billion. That's his biggest cash position that he had ever done, especially before an overvalued stock market, right? So he made the big move into Google Alphabet, buy decent companies at fair prices. Not trying to catch the bottom, not trying to catch the top. And now, why would he buy into Google? It is a cash flowing machine, right? They got Google ads. The business is a cash flowing machine. So he's like, hey, fair prices, decent company, long-term hold. Okay. Also, he bought stock in Lennar Homes. And very important, this is, and I would love to hear your guys' thesis down below, but my thesis around this is him going into Lennar Homes. It could be these types of moves right here. Right now, he probably didn't know at that moment that Trump was going to propose, it's not official, a 50-year mortgage, but some say homeowner savings would be minimal, which is true, right? But they're extending things out. You're going to own nothing and be happy. This is going to be a rental-based society, guys. So those who own the real estate, okay, those who own the gold, those who own the Bitcoin, in my opinion, those who own the XRP, okay, you're going to want to be the asset holder. Okay. There's only debt. You're on the interest side paying it, or you're on the interest side earning it. So he went into Lennar Homes, right? It's going to be a cash generating machine. Google, cash generating machine. Warren Buffett's all about them dividends, man. So he wants to get good prices, fair prices, on good companies. So he's anticipating interest rates coming down, right? A housing boom, a rental-based society. So that could be the move right there. So let's start to think about this really quickly. So Trump is a real estate guy. Trump is also now a massive crypto guy, massive in crypto. Okay, so this goes into my thesis. Let me share with you how I make my investments. I just use logic, guys. This is logic. Okay, again, this is not financial advice. I'm only going to tell you. I'm going to not gatekeep. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I always announce in my academy exactly my moves, everything I'm doing, but I'm going to share with you here too as well. Okay, so my moves are based on where I think the economy is going. Number one rule is I understand that we're in a debt-based society. There's more debt than there's income. Logic. There's more debt than there's income. I know that when I get paid from my companies and my cash generating dividends, I'm getting paid in someone else's debt. There's only debt in the system. There's only interest. You're earning it or you're paying it. That's it. Okay. So I know that. So what I do is I created capital DR. Cash flow, cash is trash. I move cash flow into companies or technologies that I believe are going to be here. So what I do know is that Trump is a real estate guy. What I do know is he's writing the rules. What I do know is his sons are now running the infrastructures. What I do know is Howard Lutnick is his right-hand person. What I do know is Steve Witkoff is his right-hand person. What I do know is Steve Witkoff's sons, Trump's sons, run World Liberty Financial. So I decided to get access to World Liberty Financial and make that one of my top holdings. That's what I chose to do. It's just logic. It's a world bank. They have one of the fastest growing stable coins in 2025. Okay. They're not the biggest, but they're the fastest growing stable coin. They have the fathers writing the rules and the sons are running the bank. World Liberty Financial, dismantling the central bank. So that's logic. So I'm going to buy at a decent price what I think is going to be a very, very good company in the future. That's my thought. Then I started getting exposure to ABTC, American Bitcoin. That's the right ticker, ABTC. So that's on the stock side. I'm not a big stock guy, only in my dividend side. Okay. So ABTC, I started adding that to my portfolio. So I'm stacking that every week now. ABTC is a mining company, okay, for Bitcoin mining. Eric Trump, his dad's writing the rules. He bought the infrastructure. They went from 0 Bitcoin in April to 4,000 Bitcoin already in 6 months. Sounds like a winner to me. They're building the infrastructure. His dad's writing the rules. They have the mining. It's a Bitcoin treasury. So I started getting exposure to that. A decent company at fair prices. I'm buying it at $4 per share right now. WFI at 15 cents per share or token, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So those are two things. Those are two examples. XRP. I'm a huge fan of XRP. I'm a huge fan of Brad Garlinghouse's CEO. I looked at the company Ripple a long time ago. I looked at the technology they created, XRP, which is at the center of everything they do. A great company at a fair price. I still think it's a very fair price at $2.20. And so I continue to accumulate it on a daily basis. No emotion. Bitcoin, my second holding, right? I can't measure the company, but I do know the top 4 people outside of Satoshi, the pseudonymous person, when Bitcoin was created in 2009, after the biggest financial collapse in our history, when Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa came together to de-dollarize from the West, all of a sudden Satoshi creates this thing that actually fixes the American monetary system. That's weird. And Trump now is ran as the Bitcoin president, is now the #1 holder in Bitcoin out of billionaires. He's writing the rules for his sons. His sons own the mining now. They own the World Liberty Financial Bank, which will be a DeFi bank, which I'm sure you'll be able to lend against your Bitcoin very, very soon here, right? Weird. His son, Barron Trump, who's 19, is 150 to 180 million in cryptocurrency net worth. I'm like, okay, so it's not a company, but countries around the world are building treasuries, and companies on the S&P are building treasuries, and there's 1,700 bought a day and there's only 450 mined. Okay, that's a technology that I think is pretty fairly priced right now based on mathematics. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm deciding to put my money where my mouth is instead of the US dollar, which is deflating every single day. And on top of that, I created my capital DR strategy. So cash flow. I get into high risk, high return dividends. Remember my word, write this down. De-risk, de-risk, de-risk. Capital DR. I have 6 companies. 3 of them are in heavy cash flow. And it took me a long time. I've been at this since 2017. Okay. Then I realized I don't want to creating companies. I don't want to keep grinding the rest of my life. So I'm like, wait a minute. I want to be Warren Buffett. So I started getting into cash generating dividends that pay me cash. When they pay me cash, I like high risk dividends and I de-risk out. I de-risk out. I de-risk out. So some of my income, I turn it into cash flow. I only do 10% of my income because I don't, they're higher risk. Then I de-risk out into Bitcoin and XRP. XRP is my number one holding. Bitcoin's number two. This is on the A asset side. These are deflationary assets, opposite of the US dollar, which is inflationary, which makes you poor every year. Number three is Solana. Number four is WFI. Number five is HBAR. I mix them all up. And then VeChain would be number six. I'm missing one there. XLM. So those are my top seven. I have many other cryptos. I'm going to be consolidating into XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, WFI, probably HBAR, but my top three will be XRP, Bitcoin, and probably WFI. I'm only telling you what I do. That's because I'm a very, very strategic, very logical person. Like Warren Buffett said, get out of school. You got a punch card with 10 investments. You become the richest person in the world. I'm holding them. I understand them. And when I get profits from them, I don't get greedy. We take profits. So everybody's like, you know, when I took my first profit of $2.70 there, people went nuts on me on Twitter. Well, guess what? When 1010 came down, I bought a bunch more XRP. You see what I'm saying, guys? Don't get married to these markets. Don't get married to these assets. Diversify. Then I stack protection. I use cash value life insurance, okay? The reason why it gets a bad rap, number one, is they're not structured properly. They're not funded properly. They're cash value life insurance, okay? They're not get rich quick. They're not these magic money machines that these agents are selling them. They have to be structured properly. They have to be funded properly. They're cash value life insurance. You have to put cash in them. Because if you don't put money in them in the first 7 years, they look like dog crap. You got to put money in them. We stuff money in them as a bank. Okay. And it's all about hurdle rates. So we structure them properly. We put money in them properly. And then we leverage against them as a bank at 5% and do what? We buy more cash flow and we buy more assets that beat the hurdle rate. And then we pay off the debt. We're just on the right side. We're on the lending side of it. We're earning when we borrow, we earn money from it. Okay. And then we have leverage, which I just explained leverage, right? So on digital assets, don't leverage your digital assets. It's too volatile. Hold. You're not Michael Saylor. Don't leverage. Just hold on until the market's less volatile. 1010 should have been your wake-up call. It liquidated. There's so many people holding on like a thread right now, guys. It screwed over so many people on 1010. And then write this down. I say this to my clients. De-risk. Okay. I'm always de-risking out into protection. I have a moat built around my kingdom. That is very important. Okay. Make sure you don't play games with your money. Rule number one, Warren Buffett, don't lose money. Rule number two, follow rule number one. Very important. Okay. So that's a system. That's discipline. That's consistency. So when moments come like 1010, we're celebrating. I hope Bitcoin goes down to 75K. And I know people get pissed when I say that. I believe Bitcoin's going to be here forever. So I'm hoping I get better buying prices. I'm hoping XRP drops under $2 again. That's a blessing because remember, good companies at a fair price. Hold the line, pull some profits. That's it. Get back, touch some grass. I'm telling you, if you build a disciplined system, guys, you'll be calm, you'll be stoic. But you're not going to get there as quick, and that's okay. And you don't want to get there quickly. Okay. You want to get there through slow, methodical, planned out. Now, can you make a larger amount of money in a short amount of time with volatile assets like this? Of course you can. Of course you can. My life completely changed the last 5 years because of the volatility of cryptocurrency. But as you can see, I'm very, very disciplined, and I will continue to be that disciplined. So I'm hoping for a deep bear market because that gives me 2026, 2027, 2028. The Bitcoin halving kicks off again. And that's the real explosion when all tokenization comes in. So let's recap. Buy good companies, technologies, whatever you want to call them. And you don't have to get into crypto. Just you have to study. Like, what do you believe in? I believe in WFI. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in XRP. I believe in American Bitcoin now. You know, I did my research and I believe it's going to be a solid company in the future. Warren Buffett. Buy good companies at a fair price. Simple. Build a plan. When you get paid, richest man in Babylon, create a brother or sister. Every time I get paid by my companies, I get paid, what's today, Monday? I'll get some dividends from two of my, today will be one company, Wednesday and then Friday. And then I take 10% of that income and I buy cash generating dividends. Okay. Those dividends are high return, high risk, and I de-risk every Monday I get paid from the dividends. And then what do? I buy more Bitcoin and XRP because I believe in them. Nobody's going to FUD me in. Nobody's going to FUD me out. And if, something happens, I have to own that, right? It works, guys. I'm telling you, it works. It's like anything. It's the bamboo farmer tilling the ground over and over and over and over again for years, seeing no results. And then boom, it breaks through the ground. And in 90 days, it grows 90 feet after 4 years of tilling the ground. That's what happened to our family. That's what happened to our ecosystem when Trump got elected. XRP went up 800%. Bitcoin went up 200%. But I didn't freak out. I calmly took some profits off the table. I fed the ecosystem. So that's all I'm trying to say, guys. Physically, spiritually, and financially, you should build a disciplined ecosystem. There is no get rich quick. The hypier someone is, or someone calls you like, oh, dude, I got the greatest deal ever. Say, if it was the greatest deal, then put all your money into it. There always is the next best thing, or the market is different. No, it's not. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. Sometimes it's chaotic. The winter, I was just in Sioux Falls, and the trees are bare. It's brown. It's like it's part of a season, guys. Then spring will come. The rainbow always comes back. You're no different. The market is no different. It just looks different. It's different technology. Go study. Your job after this is go study and come back and comment. How many market collapses has there been since the markets have been open? So your favorite influencer telling you this is different this time. It's a super cycle, blah, blah, blah. There'll always be downtimes. There'll always be the 10-10. There's going to be more black swans. So I hope this helps keep you calm, right? Touch some grass, relax, become disciplined physically, spiritually, and financially, and watch what happens to your ecosystem in the next year. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. A couple warnings out there is I do not DM people. I do not proactively DM you. If you DM us, we'll DM you back. I do not talk to you on WhatsApp, Telegram. I do not invest people's crypto. We do not have a trading platform. We don't take people's crypto and manage it. Okay. So very important. So if anybody having you send them crypto online, double, triple check. Okay. I have an education community, 3T Warrior Academy. It's a worldwide academy. Over 14,000 people worldwide lives have been affected. Okay. We have different levels of coaching programs. We are educators. Okay, we do not invest people's money. We educate you and empower you on ecosystems. How do we create cash flow? What does it look like? What does a cash flow portfolio look like, right? I show you my portfolio. I'm not investing for you. I'm like, here you go. Here's what I do. Here's the moves I'm making. Here's the why behind it. Because what we don't need stimulus checks. We need financial literacy, and that's what we teach. Is it as cool? Is it as fun and exciting? No, because you got to learn how to do it, and we teach you how to do it. That's what we do. Peel back the curtain. I show you exactly what I do and empower you to make these decisions, empower you to become disciplined. So in the description of this video down below, you'll see the different levels of my education programs. And I also have an insurance brokerage. So if you're trying to learn how to get these things structured properly, I have an elite team. We're a small brokerage, elite team. We fund these properly. We structure these properly. They're not retirement policies, right? These people selling them as these magic retirement policies. They're insurance policies. They have cost of insurance. You have to know how to use these properly. That's why the insurance company gets a bad rap, and we do it the right way. So down below, you can set up an appointment with my team in my social media platform. Click that link. Just make sure you don't respond. Don't send your crypto to anybody, your money to anybody. Hope that helps, guys. Love you guys. Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.